Damn, what is your art hot take? I love this one.
I would say
Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Aeolus Unveiled. My name is Molly Siracusa. I'm going to be your host today, and we are joined with a very special guest, Miss Sam Criscuolo. Sam, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, Sam is the photography editor on Aeolus. Sam, why did you join Aeolus in the first place?
So I was actually hunted down.
Typical.
Just kidding. I was recommended by my photography professor, Matt Cushion. And,
Shout out.
Because Dr. Chi was desperate. So, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So I was like, that actually sounds like a really good opportunity. I was scared it was gonna be too much, but I actually enjoy it a lot. I'm very happy.
So you are a photography major though, right?
I am a photography major.
What do you want to do with that?
Fashion photography.
Ooh.
Eventually creative directing, but starting out slow and whatever I can get is definitely enough for me. So.
You're on the right track in my opinion. So you also comb through all of the submissions you get photography wise. Mm-hmm. What are your top things you look for to submit in the magazine? I know also the topic of the magazine has to do with it. So how do you navigate that as well?
So I'd say the most things I look for is technicality. I also went to art school for painting, so doing the art submissions as well, and my knowledge of everything for that helps. And doing photography here, I mean, you can kind of really look at something that speaks to you, and I think if it speaks to me, I'm kind of like, wow, other people should see this. And I actually haven't seen much that I've been like, oh wow, no one needs to see this. So I feel like there's a lot of talented people at this school, and most things I look for is probably technique and just if it speaks to me or the meaning behind it. So.
So then, I'm sure, do you get a lot of submissions? A decent amount, right?
That's an amazing question because not as much as I thought. I definitely expected a little bit more, to be overwhelmed, but I got a pretty decent amount.
It was steady, wasn't it?
It was pretty steady. It was a couple coming through a week. It was not too hard, but I wish there was more. I wish that there was so much more because it was all so good. But
yeah, no, that's awesome. So then what, when it boils down to it, what is your job and what's the hardest part of it?
So my job is to get people to submit their art or photography to the Aeolus magazine email, and then I kind of surf through them, read through the submissions, look at the submissions, and then I just kind of go through and see what I think fits best. And I'd say the hardest part is probably just the job in general. I would say having to go through and
just doing it
and really keep not keeping up with it, but making sure that everything kind of goes together and flows. I'd say it's pretty hard because I could get a landscape, and then I can get the most chiaroscuro, dark, most gothic picture ever, and then I'm these two do not translate.
But
so having
both.
to but they're both so good. So having to see what goes with not that we have a theme, but what goes best with the narrative of the magazine is definitely challenging.
I feel the magazine kind of makes itself almost.
It definitely does. And surprisingly, most of the submissions that I got this round were very similar. And that's how we created our theme for this year's.
There you go.
This issue's magazine. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for people who want to submit, I know submissions are closed for this year, but next year, what are your biggest tips for both photography and art?
I would say for my overall would be, if you love it, submit it. Even if it's you don't think that it's technically that amazing or it's not your best piece, if it's something that you love, I would submit it. Now for the nitty-gritty, technically, if you're taking a picture of a piece of work, make sure your lighting is nice. And then if you're submitting a picture, just make sure that your resolution looks good for a magazine. And I think we have that all in the guidelines, but just ensure, because sometimes you forget.
I was gonna say, isn't there, I think you ran into it a couple of times where people had the wrong size or something, or the wrong file or something like that?
Yeah, so when you guys email, put it as an attachment. So not if you were sending pictures, not as a link, because then we can't access it. And then it makes me sad because then I don't hear back from my emails, and then I feel decide.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do?
Like, so please just make sure you read through everything, and if you love it, submit it.
I like that one. What of the submissions so far? It's a lot of, I kind of looked through, we have a couple of spreads made, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it was some, I loved like the nature pieces, and then you also had a couple, I don't know, the way it's balanced, it's kind of like a couple of grungy dark pieces and like moodier, and then you have like the lighter nature, all that kind of stuff. So like, do you control, like, as far as spreads go, you're like, do you have any like control there, you know?
I would say pretty much everyone on the team has a good say in kind of what goes where. I definitely, when we meet up, I put my input in, and I'm like, okay, when I envisioned it, like, I think this goes good with that, or like if we have like inspiration off the Pinterest board, I'm like, I think this would look better there. But overall, like you said, the magazine kind of writes itself. Yeah. So I feel like everything just like collectively always looks good together. Like, even if it is like a landscape and the most grunge picture ever. But yeah, I think that there's always a way to tie things.
Yeah.
And
well, like, for those of you who don't know, so Sam pretty much like accepts pieces, and then we have our graphic designers go through and like make them fit. Sometimes they'll put like crop the photo and put it in like a corner to make it a little more, it kind of adds to like the artisticness. If you guys want to look at our magazine, you'll see what I'm talking about. But so it's really interesting to kind of see how like you're like the guard, you know, you like guard the magazine, and you do it so well.
Oh my goodness, it's actually like kind of scary.
It is
scary, like
a lot of pressure.
Exactly, like me and Amanda, the literature editor. I'm like, it must be harder for her too, because she like has to read a bunch of stuff, and I
ain't doing all that. I ain't doing all that.
I don't read, so, but it's definitely like scary, because then you're like, oh, like, what if the viewers don't have the same taste as me?
Yeah.
And it's like, not that I'm being too biased, but you definitely have to have a sense of bias when you're doing this, just from like experience and like what you think looks good. Yeah. And I just get scared, because then I'm like, oh, but what if my team looks to the rejected and they're like, why didn't you pick this one? And I'm like, guys, no, like,
but like,
don't get the vision.
Well, because I feel like for you, I think you did like an amazing job so far from what I've seen. But I like can understand that it's like, it's hard, you know? And especially when you have so much like good stuff. But then it's like, wasn't there there was one artist this year who submitted, it was the Prime Minister one with where it was like 4 boxes.
Oh, yeah.
And they submitted it in like 3 different formats or something, right? It was like different colors. And so then we had to go through and pick. It was essentially like the same photo broken up into different pieces.
Yeah.
We had to go through and choose which version of the photo we wanted, if we wanted like the separate pieces or the one with all 4. How did you make that decision? Was that something you discussed at a meeting? I think if I recall.
Yeah, it was a meeting decision, because I had the question, because I was going to accept just the one with all 4, but then I was like, okay, but the individual ones are their own pieces as well. And you guys will see when the magazine comes out what I'm talking about.
Spoiler.
But yeah, I was basically just like, I don't know what to do. And also, that one was, I also wasn't sure if the meaning was something.
Well, because that's something else you really have to balance. It's like, is it offensive? Because like I feel like there's a line where it's like art is, it's like okay to push boundaries with some art.
Yeah.
But then we're also a college.
Yeah, we're college, but then we're a college. So like, you kind of do. But yeah, I definitely was like, that was all in all a piece that I had to come to the team about and be like, guys, like, what do you guys think? And then we all came to a collective decision, and we're like, okay. And there were also some that I put in like a maybe that our group leader was like, this needs to go in now. We're like, okay.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, whatever you think. Well, it's kind of nice that like everyone kind of has each other's back. I really like that about Aeolus. Okay, so now one of my favorite questions to ask you, because we bond. I like to think of Sam as like me in like a cooler alternative version. You know, like she has this one camo bag that I really want to steal.
Oh, yeah.
I really want that bag.
It's really cute.
But I think you're adorable, and I love your style so much. Where do you get your like fashion inspo from?
I hate to say, but I just kind of don't I don't really have one. I would say
You're just that cool that you could just like
no, I'm
you
not
just like
saying
vibe
that.
pick.
I feel like I'm arranged in one genre of just like alternative.
Right.
And like I guess I can pull my inspiration from like music, like media, Pinterest, and kind of whatever I see on the shelf. Like if I see something I like, I always build an outfit in my head. Like I saw this at Ross and I said, okay, I need that. And then I put what I'm wearing in my head right now in my mind and I said, okay.
Yep.
That's that. And I feel like you do the same thing.
I do kind of do the same thing.
So I don't know what you're talking about. But
what's the correlation? I feel like all like cool artists and stuff have cool style. What is like is there like something different in your brain that like makes that bridge?
I don't know. I think it's just like a creative thing.
You just have like good vibes.
Yeah, the good vibes. Like I feel like everyone in my department has good style. And like all of my friends who are creative.
Almost like a prerequisite to
I
the course.
guess
So, like,
I guess so.
It's honestly, I respect it. I respect the hustle.
Aw, thanks.
Anyways, now my favorite question. Sam, what is your art hot take?
Oh, not everything is art.
I love this one and I agree. Okay, tell us a little bit about that. What do you not think is art?
So, it's not necessarily that like, I would say that I just don't think everything that people think is art is art. So, like I feel like there's a lot of modern like views and opinions about specific pieces in museums or specific ideas and styles that are been popularized in the modern day. And I'm actually in an art history class right now for school, so I've been seeing like the generations of evolving art, and then we're gonna get to the modern art section and I'm gonna be so bored. So not necessarily, like I don't think that like it's everything needs to be considered art. Like I'd be scrolling on my TikTok and then I see like this big piece with like the smallest splash and I'm like, oh, and then it's selling for like so much and I'm like,
$1 million,
but then everyone has their own intent, I will say, but I don't think everything needs to be seen as art. I think things can be like something that's contemporary and then something that's artistic, and I think that that's...
I like that one, because me and Talafia, another one of our members you'll be meeting in this episode, we were talking, and I'm like, there was a guy I heard that like, he got commissioned to make a painting, and it was for like a big museum, and he just pretty much took the money and ran and just submitted like a white canvas, didn't do anything to it. And it's just like, well, that's my art, and it's art, and I'm like, but it irks me because it's like, that's kind of like robbery, but like you can get away with it because it's art, but also like, I don't know, like to that point, it's like, well, how am I gonna know anyone can do a blank canvas? Like, I don't know, I feel like I love when artists have their like thing, you know, like that's how you know that it's that
like
artist.
Style.
Yeah. And like their little quirks and stuff, and I'm like, a blank canvas, it's like, I don't know. So I know that one like might stir a couple pots and ruffle a few feathers, but
maybe
I like it.
Maybe
I like it. That's like I was like that's like the perfect hot take.
I mean,
like that's like the perfect definition of a hot take.
I mean, I just came up with it in my brain, but like,
dude, your brain is amazing.
Stop it.
Love you. Okay. Next, if you wanted to find more about Aeolus, Sam, where would you look?
www.aeolus.com.
Very good. And now your own art. So you are a photographer, a very talented photographer at that. Nice. If people wanted to learn more about you and follow you into your journey, where are they looking?
So I do have a website. It's srcphoto.com. I am updating it right now with my new portfolio, so hopefully by the time this comes out, it's updated.
Stay tuned.
And also on Instagram, src.phto, because SRC photo was taken, so I had to remove that.
That's so lame. That's awful.
But then I was like, it's kind of like niche and like whatever.
Yeah, it works. Alrighty. That's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!